Hey everybody, it's Tahoe Tony, and I'm ready to give you a market update for Lake Tahoe, Nevada real estate. And it's been an interesting summer. It's now September. Summer's starting to wane, unfortunately. The temperature's getting a little bit cooler, but it's still beautiful during the day, a little bit cool at night. So let's take a look what happened in August. So in August, the median sales price was on 1.8 million. We had our active inventory. We had 99 single-family residents on the market. The days on market went down 17.5%, so down to 66 days on market, so pretty good. And we had 22 closed sales, which is pretty exciting if you were a realtor or if you were a seller, and not too much competition if you're a buyer. So only 22 sales. If we go back to March, the median price was 1.3. We only had 79 properties on the market because this is, remember, we had the biggest winter on record. Arguably, some people say it wasn't, some people say it was. We only had 7 closed sales, so we had 3 times the number of sales than we did back in March. And the days on the market were almost in half, right? 66 compared to 107, just less than half, right? So an interesting market. Is moving in the right direction. It's not an amazing market, but it's pretty good. If we look at February, we only had 4 closed sales in February, and the median days on the market was 256. Now remember, this is in the heart of winter. This is February of 23, the heart of the winter. The roads were closed. People couldn't even get into Lake Tahoe. It was crazy. We only had 8 new listings for the entire month. That was rough. That was a rough month. A lot of fun. We were doing a lot of skiing, have a lot of fun, doing a lot of shoveling, snow plowing, but not the best time for sales. So what's going to happen next? That's what everybody always wants to know. So if we take a historic count of active listings, so this goes back to January of 2018, we had just under 250, probably about 235 active listings. And then they went up in July, almost 300. And then back in January 2019, they dropped again. This is very typical. I've been doing this in Incline Village on the Nevada side of Lake Tahoe for over 26 years, and I've seen this trend over and over. Back in the summer, we got all the new listings, and then COVID was just getting ready to hit here, so we came down, and then COVID was in full swing here of January 2021. And then July, the listings, remember we had very, very low inventory. A lot of people buying homes sight unseen. It was a historically crazy market. Can I say that? I know that's not a scientific term, but that's what I like to. It was a historic crazy market. And then 2022, January 2022, we have even fewer listings, 100 or so. And then the summer, we kind of went up closer to normal. We were up to over 200 in July of 2022. And that's, remember, when in the spring of 2022 is when they raised the interest rates a little bit. The Fed raised interest rates. So this is starting to see what happened. And now we get back to July of 2023, and we're still very low inventory. We've got 200 listings. Now on that chart that I showed before, this one for August. So this is only single family residences. And this chart over here shows all of the active listings, residences and condos, and that's about accurate. I think we're at 197 right now. So probably we're going to see, I would say, if this chart is accurate, history is accurate, we're probably going to go back down to around 100 listings or so total. So about half of where we are now. And that's going to make it more difficult if you want looking to buy. So it'd be better if you want to sell, but it'd be more difficult if you want to buy. So if we go to the next chart, which I think you'll find quite interesting. Now, this is the historic price chart. So if we go back in January of 2013, we were looking at like $750,000. And then it jumped up in January of 2014. It's kind of went on this trend of going up and up and up. And then this is the historic crazy market I was talking about. And prices skyrocketed. But now they're back into that trend. I drew this red line here. I'm not an economist. I think I took a few economy classes in college, but that's about the extent of it. But just trying to follow the trend here. So the prices are still appreciating, not this crazy historic market. You got to throw that out. That was just a blip. We had sold quite a few lakefront in that time, and it affects things tremendously when you're selling. When you're only selling a few hundred homes a year, and then you sell 4 or 5 that are over 25 million, that's going to put a big blip in there like that. So what we have now, we've got prices, just like that first slide, the median price right now is 1.8 million. And that is pretty accurate for this chart right here. So what's going to happen next? I think we're going to stay similar to this chart with the historic price change. So probably stay, we might creep up to might creep up to 2 million next year. It's hard to say, but it's we'll see what happens. So another great slide here. I always like to learn more and get as much advice and learning from professionals and experts all the time. And last week I was at an event with Elliot Eisenberg, the bow tie economist. Is a famous economist that goes around the country giving speeches, and he had a lot to do with real estate, and he kept putting out graph after graph after graph showing how bad the economy is. And I kept waiting for him to go, hey, but the good news is, but it's like after 20 slides of graphs and different data from everything from wages to spending on credit cards and CEO confidence level. Everything's predicting that we're going to go into recession, but it's going to be a slight recession. And it was interesting because he really gets deeply into the data, so much more than I do. But he went way back and he showed these little recessions throughout the years that you don't even remember. Of course, we remember 2008, and then I think it was like 1998, and then 1981, but in between those, there was always 2 or 3 little recessions, and he's predicting, like a lot of other economists, that it's going to be a slight recession, and it's not going to be industry-wide. It's going to be a rolling recession when some industries will keep doing well, some won't, some will feel the pain, some won't, but all indicators point to going to a slight recession. But he came up with an interesting point, and this is what I really want to share with you. If you're thinking about buying, now, he also said that most likely the real estate market is going to stay about where it is now for the next 18 months. They always say quarters. All the economists talking quarters. So the next 6 quarters, which I did the math in my head, was next year and a half, basically, it's going to stay about the same as far as the amount of buyers, amount of sellers. It's going to go flat like it is now. Maybe go up a little bit, go down. Real estate is so local, it's hard to give one flat statement for the entire country. But he gave this great quote here that I wrote down. Economists predict with each interest rate percentage deduction, 500,000 buyers will enter the market. So if we're at 7.5% right now, and we go down to 6.5%, that's an extra 500,000 buyers that you're going to have to compete with. If we go down to 5.5%, that's 1 million more buyers that you're going to have to compete with. So my recommendation, if you're thinking about buying, I would think about buying in the next 6 months or so. Maybe the winter time might be a good time to buy if it's not a crazy winter and you can't even get to Lake Tahoe. But if it's not a crazy winter and you can get up here and you find a property you like, it might be worth it to try and buy it. Remember, the interest rates are most likely going to go down eventually in the next year or so you could refi, which I think is a good idea because most sellers are willing to negotiate more now, and you can get a good price on the home and then refinance and get a good interest rate in the next 18 months, which, again, my full disclosure, I do not have a crystal ball. I can't tell you what the market's going to do. I can predict what the market's going to do based on the information and the economists and all the people that I've been following, and based on my 26 years of experience in the real estate market, what's going to happen. I think it's going to be in the next 18 months is going to be interesting, and then I think we're going to just gradually grow up, and I don't know if we're going to get a big blip like this, but I think we're going to go up, get a good rise in the prices, because we're going to get an extra 1 million buyers into the market. And if you look at what happens in our market. We have 22 sales in 1 month. We've got an extra million buyers, throughout the United States. Even if we only had 100 more buyers, that's 5 times what we did in our best month for the entire year. So if you're thinking about buying, or if you've got some life episode going on in your life and you need to get a house on the Nevada side of Lake Tahoe, I would recommend you look in the next 6 to 8 months. Probably be your best time for the next 2 years. Thank you, everybody. This is Tahoe Tony. I appreciate giving you this market update. If you like what I've presented here, go ahead, subscribe below and click on the notification bell, and you'll be the first one notified when I put out another video on the current market situation on the Nevada side of Lake Tahoe. And every day, my team and I get emails, phone calls, and text messages from people just like you who are looking to make the move to Incline Village or the Nevada side of Lake Tahoe, and we love it. So if you're thinking about buying in 6 days, 6 weeks, or 6 months, like I recommend, go ahead and shoot me a message, send me an email, or give me a call, and I'll guarantee your move to Incline Village or all the Nevada side of Lake Tahoe is the best real estate experience you've ever had.